Hey guys, it's Johnny and welcome to episode 104 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. I'm here with Bauke from Holland.
Welkom bij aflevering 104 van de Travel Like a Boss podcast.
I love that. I think I'm going to start doing that with every guest who speaks another language. So welcome Bauke, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Johnny, thanks.
So me and Bauke were having Sunday brunch at this farm-to-table restaurant called Rustic and Blue.
Rustic and Blue, yeah.
And I had a duck confit leg.
I had a brekkie stack of French toast with bacon.
And I think I had like a veal sausage with it.
And a sausage and some egg. Yep.
Yeah. And mine was a crispy duck leg on top of like rosemary potatoes and a soft sunny side up egg that kind of just drizzled over it.
Yep.
And it was super good. And just during brunch, we were just talking about Bauke's past. Actually, no, I think we started with mine. I think we started saying, I was telling a story. There's an affiliate marketer named Charles Ngo who recently started blogging a lot just about his journey and how he's gotten to where he is. And I've never met him before, but I've read his articles. I'm friends with him on Facebook just through mutual friends. And one of his stories was about how he got started in making money online. And we grew up in very similar backgrounds because we're both Asian American. I think we actually had like a lot of similarities. And one of the things that we had was we were both part of an online forum, I guess, or we would follow this website. I think it was called Slick Deals, but one of these hot deal websites where they would post deals on how you can get stuff for cheap. And the deal that came up that we had both bought, and this was 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. But when he was telling the story, I was like, I bought that same item. I remember that deal coming up. And it was for a Canon digital camera. I think it was called the ELF at the time. Retailed for maybe $400 or whatever it was. But it was on sale at Office Depot or somewhere, maybe Best Buy, I don't know, whatever it was. But the deal was, if you go to Office Depot and you ask for a price match, and then you print out this coupon and you stack it with this other mail-in rebate, you can get the camera for $150 or $200 less than the actual price. And it was a really good camera. So I was so excited. I bought it. And from that point on, for the next 10 years, I spent every waking moment trying to find good deals, trying to save money. And that kind of led me to my path of moving to Thailand, living as cheap as possible, saving as much money as possible, and kind of just this whole mindset. Yep. While Charles?
Yeah, so what Charles did instead is he saw a great business opportunity in this deal. So he started buying the same camera, but he didn't buy one for himself. He just bought a whole bunch of them and sold them on eBay, I guess, and made a lot of money doing that. And over the next 10 years, he just grew his business and did affiliate marketing, and he became one of the biggest affiliate marketers in the world right now.
It's so insane that we started on the exact same path. I mean, to a point where we had the same information. We bought the same product. We just had a slightly different mindset shift. Mine was, awesome, I saved $150. Let me see what else I can save money doing. Let me see how frugal I can be. While he had the mindset of, wow, this is $150 off of retail price of what other people are willing to pay for it. Why don't I just sell it for full retail on a different marketplace, like on eBay, and I can make the difference. I can make the spread. I can make $100 to $150 profit each time I do this. And it sounds so simple now. Like when I think about it now, like I feel so stupid.
Yeah.
For like not even thinking about that.
Yeah, no, totally. It's I guess that most people would have thought more like along the lines that you've been thinking along. I think a lot of people are in that mindset where, if you buy something for $150 less, yes, I've saved $150. And they don't really want to even think about the opportunity that's there. Most people are not entrepreneurial in their thinking.
Yeah, and it's weird how we cultivate this entrepreneur seed. And so I was asking Bauke about how he started with it all. But just to kind of finish up Charles's story, I'll see if I can find it and link to it. But it was a win-win situation for him because there was no because he can just simply return the camera because there's a 30-day return period for Office Depot. Mm-hmm. If he listed it, he bought it, and he listed it on eBay and nobody wanted to buy it, he can just go return it and get all his money back.
Yeah.
So it was really like there was no downside to it. And, it required work, required like hunting for the deal, going in, maybe you have to drive to different stores, price match, you have to use his money up front, take this gamble of is it going to sell or not, even though it's not a real financial gamble, it's still a time gamble, and then have to go list the product, maybe take photos of it, put it on eBay, and go through all that process.
Yeah.
And when I think back, maybe it wasn't that I wasn't entrepreneur minded, maybe I was just lazy.
Yeah. Well, that could be. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw the opportunity and decided not to act on it, or just didn't see it at all. I think there's a difference there. Like if you see the opportunity and decide like meh, then it's more of a lazy mindset, I guess. Because that happens a lot too, where they see opportunities, but they just like, it's not for me. They come up with some excuse why it's not for them. But in the end, it comes down to I'm just too lazy to do this.
But even today, now that there is more information, now that there's things like this podcast or my blog or the other people, hundreds of other people out there sharing information, there is stuff that works that people can follow, but people just kind of choose not to do it.
Yeah.
And do you think it's because they haven't had that mind shift switch yet, where they had that entrepreneur mindset, or do you think people are like, that sounds like a lot of work? Because even when I'm describing this eBay thing, like going out, price matching, printing out coupons, getting it for cheaper, listing on eBay and selling it, it actually does sound like a lot of work still.
Yeah, you're right. No, I absolutely agree that people are not inclined to put in a lot of work, even though it seems like the best opportunity out there and a great deal. And I think that over the course of our education as children, from children to adults, we are conditioned to not like putting in a lot of work into things and to have things done for us. And so I think that there's definitely a big difference between people that are willing to put in the work and people that are not. And that as an entrepreneur, you definitely not just have to have the mindset to see opportunities, but also overcome that limitation that you grow up with in the Western world, where you just want to have things done for you and just have like everything handed to you on a silver platter, basically.
So some of you might be thinking like, oh man, that sounded like a great opportunity, I would have done that. I'm telling you guys right now, if you want to, you can just drive down to Target or whatever your local store is, find something that is insanely on sale, something that's like more than 50% discounted. Maybe look at the discount racks or look to see if they have like a 2-for-1 sale. And all you have to do, and every single person can do this, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it right now, and it's not going to cost you anything. Look on your phone on Amazon or on eBay to see how much they're selling it for there. And if it is significantly less, so let's say it's 50% less because it's a 50% off sale and it's selling for full price on eBay, for example, to make it the easiest, buy that product. Buy all of them off the shelf. Buy as many as you can afford.
Yeah.
Go home, take nice photos, write a nice description, list on eBay. And if you sell it, voila, you just made a 50% profit. And if nobody buys it, just go drive back to Target, give them the receipt, return those 20 items that you bought. And that is literally it. And they call this retail arbitrage.
Yeah.
You can do this with Amazon as well by sending the products physically to Amazon. And in general, if it's a product that, is pretty much, Amazon is such a big marketplace that almost everything sells. So as long as the pricing makes sense, where you have at least a 50% margin, hopefully you can have buy one, get one free. Like you can buy for half off. So maybe you can have 100% margin. Then that'll cover all the fees for shipping, for the Amazon fee they take, things like that. And the only people I would say don't do this is if you have something else that you're already doing that's already making money, it's probably not worth your time. I would say that is the only valid excuse. If you have something else that you can say, well, instead of me spending 10 hours doing this, let me put 10 hours towards whatever business I'm doing right now. That is a valid excuse. But for every single person listening to this who has not tried anything yet, who's, either skeptical or too lazy that you can make an online business, that you can be an entrepreneur, there really is no freaking excuse.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's basically like drop shipping light. Like how if you're all like at all interested in drop shipping and you're not really sure if that's something you want to do or want to get into, this might be a great way to start with it and see if that's something you might want to do.
Yeah, and it's not even like you probably won't make a ton of money from it, but I guarantee you once you start making like your first couple $100s from, it's almost like thin air. It's almost like, it almost feels like this weird magic. where if you can make money online doing something, you're like, man, this is something completely different than what I'm used to. I'm used to getting a salary or like some kind of offline paycheck.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you like the first time you ever made money online? How did that feel?
Yeah. Well, I think that for me, I know a lot of people see that moment as like very, very exciting and mindset shifting. It wasn't really like that for me because I had already shifted my mindset before I made my first dollar online. So I kind of came to expect it when it came. But I know a lot of people that aren't there yet, and then they make their first dollar online, and then they have like, whoa, this actually works. But like you said, it's so different from getting the offline paycheck because of how different the internet is to, like, many people don't realize the opportunity that the internet provides, because it's like instant communication with anyone anywhere in the world, and it allows for leverage, unlike any sort of offline activity, because with the same amount of effort put in, you can reach almost an infinite amount of people compared to an offline business. If you sell something offline, then you are bound to a physical location, or you're bound to a one-on-one interaction with a person. Whereas if you sell something online, the only thing that's stopping you from reaching the whole world is the advertising budget you have, or whatever traffic method you are using, how much traffic you can generate with it.
You make a great point, and it absolutely makes sense. The biggest downside to retail arbitrage is physically needing to drive there, physically needing to find goods to sell, physically needing to purchase it and ship it, and it's a bottleneck. So I think if you aren't doing anything anyways, if you spend your days playing video games or watching TV, yeah, go do this, because this is a great learning experience, and it's an easy, to me, it's so simple. Like it just works, so the only reason why I would recommend something like this for people to get started is not because it's gonna make you rich, not because it's gonna be, anything life altering, but actually it will be, because you'll know, like, hey, if I can do this, let me think outside the box. Maybe I can hire other people to do this. Maybe I can teach other people how to do this.
Yeah.
And this is why I've been recommending David Vu's eBay dropshipping course lately, is because not because it's going to make anyone rich, but because it is such an easy first step. He basically does something very similar to this, but he, instead of going to the store to buy it, he just lists the items first, and then when people buy it, he just orders it from the store's website. So instead of going to Target to buy the item, he just orders it from Target.com as a gift, so they don't include the receipt, and he sends it out that way. And what's nice about that is, first, it saves time not driving to the store, and but more importantly, and the reason why this is more of an online business is because you can automate it, you can hire VAs to do these things for you, and then you can scale it. Because if you are physically having to do it, you can't scale. Like there's only so many stores you can drive to. There's only so many hours in the day. But if you can hire additional VAs and have other web presence, it's scalable. So I think that's a great way to get started.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That definitely taps into the point I was making about the internet being having this leverage that offline methods don't have.
So I want to hear about how you said you made your mindset shift, because you said you made it before you even made money online.
Yeah. So when I was first starting in affiliate marketing, I did some courses. I went to through some like coaching programs, and one that really changed my mindset a lot is it was called Elite List Building Coaching by a guy called Matt Pocious. He basically, before starting the actual method that he was teaching, he made you go through the first part of his course, which was a mindset part. And he lists a few books that you should read. He gives you a few videos to watch, which basically go over the points we just made about entrepreneurial mindset, about the leverage that the internet provides, and things like that. Also, the book he recommended was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which is, if you've never been exposed to that kind of thing before, like I wasn't, it can initiate a huge change in your mindset. Because I realized when reading that book that my entire upbringing, I have been living in the poor dad mentality. Even though it sounds like poor dad, like it doesn't have anything to do with being poor. It just has to do with the mindset. Because I wasn't poor, my parents weren't poor, but they were in this mindset where they've been stuck as government employees for God knows how many years now, like 40. Just making the same paycheck every month and hoping for like a 10 or 5% raise in their annual salary every year. And the rich dad mentality just completely says like, oh, that's not the way to go about it. If you ever want to be rich, you got to start a business. You got to use leverage and scale and systemize and things like that, which I just never really considered.
Yeah, 100%. That was the book that really shifted my mindset as well. And that's why I'm so happy that, I was open-minded enough to even read this stuff. Because I think there's so many people out there who are like, no, I'm not going to read self-help books. I'm not going to read a finance book. But it really does, like, it could change your life. It really can.
Yeah. As soon as I started doing that, I started reading a lot more books like it. And over the course of the last, 2 years, I've read so many, mindset changing books, entrepreneurial books. I can name a few if you want that really made a huge impact on my life. Obviously, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill is a classic. To learn about how your belief system influences the way your life pans out. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, obviously. The first time I was exposed to the what we now call digital nomad lifestyle, but he's like a proto digital nomad, I guess. Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins, is a little more like a self-help, not really entrepreneurial, but definitely also about how your thoughts influence your life, how you should avoid negativity. Even when you're not happy with where your life is, don't be negative about it, because it's what they say is basically, if you want to be happy, you shouldn't wait for the result of something before you're happy. You should be happy before, and then the result will come. So that's definitely a mindset changing book. And lately also The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco has changed. I think that one's like, when you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you first get introduced to the difference between the 9-to-5 job and the entrepreneurial mindset. And in The Millionaire Fastlane, he goes one step further and like differentiates between different kinds of businesses and how some businesses have the potential to make a lot of money in a relatively short amount of time, whereas other businesses might end up being just like a job, and you should avoid them.
I like it, and all great recommendations, and I'm very proud to say I've read all of those books. And I think that actually is one of those things where if you interview enough people who are successful, who have actually gone on and done it, I almost guarantee you they've all read those books.
Yeah.
So whether that's causation or correlation, it definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I would highly recommend, if you haven't read any of these books yet, like just go do it. I mean, it's like, what does it cost you to go read these books? Pretty much nothing.
Yeah, nothing. You just skip TV for a while or the rest of your life, which would be my recommendation, and then read instead.
Yeah, they're not expensive. You can get these at the library for free.
Yeah.
It drives me freaking insane. Like, I mean, if you don't want to read, listen to an audiobook. Do something. Just like go and do it. And here's the thing is, I never read books. I never read a full book cover to cover until I was out of college, I think. Like 28 or something.
Yeah.
And it was because I hated reading. I hated the books that the teachers would assign you that were in this old school English that nobody speaks anymore. These words that you'll never use. And I'm like, why are they making us read this crap? It's so boring. I hate it.
Yeah, this actually goes back to the point I was making earlier, where I said that our education system is making us lazy because it's making us hate the things that we should be doing, like reading good books, because of the way they force you to read stuff that's just not interesting, boring, like
And we don't get any like value from straight away. I mean, yeah, I'm sure if I read Pride and Prejudice and I really thought about it, I really sat down and like, you know, analyzed it. Yeah, maybe I'll learn something from it. You know, I'm sure I would. I'm sure it'll help my vocabulary. I'm sure it'll help me like create something, right?
Yeah.
But when I read a book like 4 Hour Work Week and it says, okay, do this next, do this, I get instant value from it. And that's why I read these books.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I also think that there's a huge difference between being forced to read a book and being a choice. That goes with basically anything they kind of force you to do in school, where later on in life you are making the choice yourself, and suddenly it becomes so much easier, like learning something new, learning a new skill. In school you're like really hating like learning, or at least you really dislike it because it's being forced upon you. The same happened with me and waking up early in the morning. I used to really hate waking up early in the morning. I had a job that I had to go to at 7 sometimes, so I had to wake up like 5:30 in the morning to get there in time. And one of the things that when I quit my job I was really looking forward to was no longer having to wake up to an alarm clock in the morning and just sleeping till like 9 or 10 a.m. And I did that for a while, and I realized I actually hated it. And I, after reading another great book, Hal Elrod, The Miracle Morning, I decided to give that a try and wake up really early in the morning to work on my personal development. Also go to CrossFit here in Chiang Mai, which starts at 7:30 in the morning. And now waking up early in the morning is my own choice, and it makes it so much easier. Even if I go to bed really late and I only get 5-6 hours of sleep, I still do it. And it's so different when it's a personal choice rather than being forced upon you by your boss who says you have to come in at 7 a.m.
I absolutely agree, because when we wake up now, it's because we know we're doing something that we like doing, or we're doing something that's going to help us reach our goals of something that we want to become, whether it's fitness or a like entrepreneurial goal, a financial goal, whatever it is. And I'm the same way. I can sleep in all day. You know, most people even at the co-working space don't come in until pretty late, like 10, 11. Some people come in after lunch because it's pretty easy to wake up at like 10, you know, and then just kind of be lazy around, go get breakfast and hang out. And you're like, oh, well, might as well go get lunch now. Then you come in the afternoon. I set my alarm for 7:30 a.m. every morning, and I wake up and I go to work. And it's a choice. And I used to hate that. I used to hate waking up early.
Yeah.
But I think another part of it is now waking up in Thailand, it's like a nice morning. You know, it's not cold. You know, it's not raining usually. So I don't mind getting up. But back at home in the winters when it was freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and it's dark still and it's cold, and you have to go drive, get this cold car. Like, I hated that. You know?
Yeah, you have to drive around for 10 minutes in your jacket, and then the car warms up and then you're too warm and you have to take the jacket off again, and it's terrible. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Now I've probably read, you know, I don't know how many books, but like hundreds of books now. And it's a bit embarrassing to say, but the first book I ever read, cover to cover by my own choice, was The Game by Neil Strauss. And it's the book about the pickup artist. And
great book.
The best thing that happened from that was it opened my eyes to reading self-help books. So I think that the next book I read was maybe The Secret, The Law of Attraction, where they talk about like manifesting things in your life by like setting goals or thinking open-mindedly. And I was like, okay, you know, this is great. You know, maybe instead of, you know, I don't know if I believe half of the science in it, but yeah, maybe I should stop doubting myself. Maybe I should start thinking bigger and, you know, like trying to at least have good thoughts. And I think the third book I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that was when it like really changed my mind, you know, really like shifted. And I was like, you know what? I grew up with the poor dad mindset, and my parents actually were poor. So Not only did we have the poor mindset, but we actually were poor too. So I never had someone in my life to like really teach me these business lessons. And, you know, I'm sure that led to other books, but the next significant book I read was 4 Hour Work Week, which brought me here. So if it wasn't for reading, you know, that book in the first place, I never would have let me here. So however you're going to start your path, I guarantee it's going to be one book that's going to be like, you know what, I got so much value out of this.
Yeah.
You know, or not even value. Like, what if it just changed your mindset? What if it just opened your eyes? You open your mind. Then that leads to the next one, and the next one.
Yeah. So I want to tell a little story about my brother, actually, now we're talking about this, because my brother, he's 5 years younger than I am, so he's 23 now. And over the course of his life, I was always a student in school. I cruised through it very easily. I got good grades, but I didn't have to put in a lot of work. He wasn't like that at all. He had to struggle. He had to go drop through lower levels of schooling and then climb his way back up, using a lot of money from my parents in the process. And sort of until like a year ago or so, it wasn't really clear where he was going to go and what he was going to do. And then when I made the decision to go out here and move to Thailand and basically just leave everything I had back there, which to him must have seemed like really crazy because I was the one that made it and he was the one that didn't. So why would I want to quit all of that and move here? So he had some questions for me, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And can you tell me more about it? And I told him, yeah, sure, we can have this conversation, but I think you should read these 5 books first, which were the books that I just listed. And I honestly didn't expect him at all to read. I thought he would just ignore my advice and go on with whatever he was doing, playing video games all day. But to my surprise, he actually did read all the books, and we had some pretty interesting discussions about them just like the months before I left for Thailand. And then he started college just as I was leaving. And like a few months later, my parents, on a phone call with them, told me like they're really surprised by my brother right now because he's doing really well in school. He is the best in his class. He's teaching other students. He is reading way more than he ever did before. Like, I don't think he ever read a book before. So now he's actually reading. And so I guess I somehow changed his mindset as well by giving him the recommendation to read these books. And I don't know where his path is going to take him right now, but he did choose to study a study that's like commercial sales study. So he's definitely going on an entrepreneurial path as well.
I think that's incredible, man. Like the fact that you didn't just, had him the fish, and you said like you need the groundwork first, you need the mindset first before you can do anything. And I think that's a huge part of it. Is it doesn't matter what the tools that someone offers is. If someone doesn't have the mindset to use it correctly, it's gonna be useless anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that on the one hand, like as a marketer, I very often am the one that's just giving people the tools, or at least selling people the tools, and I know in the back of my mind that sometimes these people aren't really ready for it, but I also know that it's very hard to sell. It's really easy to sell people what they want and really hard to sell them what they need. So very often you see like anyone that's teaching like how to make money online, how to be an entrepreneur, always goes with like, here's how to make $10,000 a month in 30 days, rather than here's how to change your mindset to become an entrepreneur and be successful in life, because no one's going to buy that product and everyone's going to buy the first product. But I think that the coaching program I was in did that very well, because he was selling how to make $10,000 a month, but he did start off by giving some really important mindset instructions. So I think that's definitely the way to go.
I like it, and you're absolutely right. It's so hard in this community where I genuinely want everyone to succeed, but every time people ask me to help, they always ask the wrong questions. They always ask, what is step 99? Now what is step 1? And sometimes you almost kind of have to just say, you know what, if this is what you want, like, go ahead and buy it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Now that you bought it, here's actually how to get started. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I never really thought about it. But in my course, Earnest Affiliate, the very second video, I think, once you actually join and become a member, it says, all right, guys, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either try to do it as quick as possible, and in a month or 2, you'll be able to make a couple $100 maybe, and maybe if you're lucky, maybe you'll make more, maybe, maybe it'll be a fluke, right? But I said, if you really want to do this right, I want you guys to think long-term, and I want you to dedicate the next 6 months into doing this correctly. And I show people, charts. I say, this is your potential if you try to do this as quick as possible and you try to make money as fast as possible. here is your potential if you take your time, you lay down a solid foundation and game plan, and this is what's going to happen 6 months from now. And then I say, now it's your choice. you can either skip to module 4 and you can start this way, or you can go to the next video and start this way. It's completely up to you. Both ways do work, but this is your choice.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it. That sounds very interesting, and I might take that advice from you and use it when I make my own course.
Please do. And actually, even when I promote other people's courses, so when someone joins Anton's course for his dropshipping course, inside, it's designed to give you the tools. It's kind of, he assumes that if you bought this, $1,300 course, that you're actually gonna go through it and watch it and do it. But I know most people won't. Most people will. They'll think they want to do it, and then they'll never even freaking watch the videos. And that's the easiest part, is just watch the freaking videos. And right away, 10 or 20% of people don't even get around to that. They're like, oh yeah, let me do it next month, or when I have time next summer or next winter or something.
Yeah.
So when people sign up for his course through my link, I send them access to something what I call the jumpstart videos. And in that is some motivation. It basically says, look, you bought the freaking course already, just go do it. It really works. And I show people examples inside, of why I know it works, why you have to follow these steps. And then I think the very next video is a goal checklist. I'm write these things down, set dates. I show people the average amount of time it takes to do the demo store, what you can accomplish by week 1 or week 2, week 3, week 4. And it's just a way for me to get people to actually keep track of themselves and dedicate to it. So even though in that jumpstart course, it was originally designed to kind of help people over certain hurdles, like the niche selection process or when a node call suppliers. But when I really think about it, I think what really benefits people is that kind of kick in the butt, saying, look, this is how to do it. This is the timeline you should be doing it, and just start.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It also helps if people are unsure about this and how to give themselves that kick in the butt. If they already have something they know they should be doing and they need that kick in the butt, it really helps to have some form of accountability. So either team up with someone who's like-minded, doing the same thing, or get a mentor or coach that provides this form of accountability. Or you can make a commitment on your Facebook wall, hey guys, tell the whole world, this is what I'm going to do over the next 30 days. And if I pussy out, then just give me a kick in the butt, because I made this commitment. And it really helps to do something like that. If you feel like you're stuck in the phase where you know what you have to do, but you are still not really doing it.
Yeah, that's why I really like the challenges. So when I did my last store, I did the 30-day challenge where I wanted not necessarily to make money in 30 days, but I just wanted to have the store set up in 30 days. And I knew it was hard, but it was possible. And I announced it. I did I think I did a few blog posts a week just to put it out there, just so I'll have that accountability. Other things I've done in the past was I would get on the phone through Skype with a friend who was doing something similar every Wednesday, and we just chat. And we're like, hey, what have you been up to? What have you done this week? What do you plan to do next week? And just that helped.
Yeah, totally.
And it wasn't a formal thing. It was just catching up. And I was like, oh man, I'm lazy, or it forced me to actually think about what I should be doing. Recently, I actually just joined a mastermind, and it was the first time ever joining one. And I honestly did not want to join because I think honestly I was two parts. One is I think I was lazy. And second, I was like, I'm already doing what I need to do. I'm fine. I know what I should be doing.
I'm in exactly the same boat as you. I get this all the time where I'm like, should I do this to make myself more accountable to my goals? Or, you know what? I'm making a decent amount of money. I'm living very well in Thailand. Why would I go through this? Even now when we are at this, we were just talking about how we shifted our mindset, but even still, we need this. Even at our level, you never really stop needing the kick in the butt, basically.
Yeah, 100%. And it's only been about 3 weeks. And it was one guy, this French-Canadian guy named Max.
I know him.
Yeah, he had mentioned to me, he's like, Johnny, I want to do a mastermind. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool, man. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. And then a week later, he's like, okay, we are doing it on Friday, the 12th. And I messaged back like, oh, sorry, I'm going to be out of town. I'll be still in San Francisco. And I'll be back next Thursday. And he's like, okay, we reschedule it to Thursday. So you know that? And I felt so bad that he rescheduled it just for me. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll come. And then he sends, like a few days later, he sends like this mega Excel spreadsheet of like, goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, bonus goal, dates you want it done by.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, please fill this out before our meeting. And I didn't fill it out. It was so bad. I think up until 5 minutes before our meet, I was laying at the pool. Because it was a nice day. And I'm like just chilling there. And he comes and finds me at the pool because we live in the same building.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Hi, Jani, you ready?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess, you know." So I go out to his room, and it was the best thing I've done this year. Like, it really has, man. Like,
awesome.
Every week, you know, it's just 3 of us, nothing formal. You know, it's we just sit around and talk for an hour. I think we each do like 25 minutes. We talk about what we've. So if anyone wants to do this with their friends, this is the format we did that works really well. The very first meeting, you spend 25 minutes talking about your business, what's going well, what's not going well, what your goals are, and then what you want to do for next week. And then every week after that, you basically do a refresh of what you've done and then what you want to do again the following week. And what's good about it is not only do you get the support and advice of other people, you know, hopefully that are kind of on the same level as you. So don't expect to get someone who's making, you know, $10,000 a month in your group if you're just starting, you're making zero. If anything, that's probably not even a good thing for you. You probably want other people who are making a similar amount so you guys can grow together. And that's also more fair to the people who, you know, are doing well. Like, I'm probably not going to be accepted into a mastermind for people who are already millionaires, already billionaires, because I'm not going to have that much to offer them. But if people are kind of around, but then on the opposite, if we had a bunch of people who were just starting out in our group, they probably wouldn't add any value to the rest of us. So it's very important, even though it seems like you don't want someone super successful, I think it's more important to find someone who's at your level.
Yeah, totally, yeah. And I'm actually going to be doing a similar thing starting next month in Vietnam, where I'm going to be moving after Chiang Mai. And I already talked with some people that were going to be moving there with about, hey, let's do a mastermind when we get there, because we were all talking about business and we all kind of like gauged that, hey, we all have these struggles and problems that we can help each other with. So when we go to Vietnam, let's do a mastermind there. Yeah,
I think it's a great idea. And, you know, it starts with one person just organizing it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just pick a time and make sure people come. That's it. Like that's really it. Like, you don't need to make a fancy document. You know, it could just be like a piece of paper. Like, what are 3 things you want to do by next week? And you can do like an accountability bucket. You know, you each put money in, whatever. But honestly, you don't even need to do that. I think just the fact that you wrote it down and you committed to it, you end up doing it. And I catch myself not doing it until, you know, 1 hour before the next meet. But because I don't want to show up saying, oh, I've done nothing or had excuses, I crush it in that hour. Yeah. I like go through my list and I'll do like 5 things in an hour, which normally would have taken me like the whole week.
Yeah.
So I absolutely highly recommend everyone do this. And if you can't do it with people in person, I would recommend doing it with people in person. I think it's fun, but it's also kind of a just better experience. Just do it over Skype. If you don't know anyone, none of your friends are entrepreneur minded, meet other people in like forums or the member communities of whatever course you're doing. So if you're in Anton's course, just make a post saying, hey, looking for 3 people to do mastermind, you know, anyone in this city, or, you know, anyone want to do it on, you know, every Thursday at this time. And I guarantee you'll find people.
Yeah, so when I first started out in the course I mentioned, there was a weekly webinar. Every week, the coach would host a webinar, and the webinar itself would be quite short, and there would be this long Q&A session afterwards, which kind of turned into a mastermind for, like, there were like dozens of people in the course, but only like a handful that would actually show up and participate in the weekly webinars, which was like me and 3 or 4 other people. So that kind of turned into my first mastermind, and that's where I first saw the value in doing this, because during that course, me and those 4 or 5 other people became the most successful students of this coach, and the first ones to actually like really profit from the method he taught.
I like it. So could you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, what were the steps? How long did it take you to become profitable?
Yeah, so the course is about building an email list using make money online offers on affiliate networks, and using the traffic from other list builders that are already successful and selling their traffic from their list. So without going into too much detail, you're basically just like building a list of make money online prospects, and then trading traffic with other list builders to grow that list. And I started out in affiliate marketing by just going through some YouTube videos on affiliate marketing, and then one of them introduced me to the Warrior Forum, which you're probably familiar with, which is like right now it's kind of sketchy and no longer really valuable. Then it was still like towards the end of the period where there's still some value in the forum. It wasn't like really valuable, but there was.
Do not join the Warrior Forum.
Yeah. It's right now it's terrible. Like, but back then it still had some value, and that's where I found this coaching program. And this guy did a good presentation. I kind of identified with him, and like I thought like this might be something to get into. And I joined his course. Started doing that method. It required some initial investment because you have to pay for traffic, which was actually good because it helped me with the mindset of like not being so afraid to invest money into starting a business. Because there's a lot of, on the Warrior Forum, there's a lot of people that like promise you like how to make money with free traffic, free method, etc., etc. Whereas I was always a bit skeptical about that, and all the methods that seem to work seem to require some investment. So I definitely invested some money initially in it, and it only took me like 2 months to recuperate my initial investment, and after that I started making a profit from that method. So yeah, very, very nice.
I like it. So the note on free traffic, I think there's only 2 ways to get like enough traffic in an audience. You either have to pay for it with money, or you have to pay for it with time.
Yes.
So if you want to do, or like if you want to get free traffic, like I don't pay for any advertising for my blog, podcast, pretty much anything to do, like aside from like, let's say my dropshipping stores, I pay for ads to go to my products. But for my normal brand, which I make money from like affiliate offers, I've never paid for a single ad. But what I have paid for is time. I've put out blog posts that take me 8 hours to write. I put out podcasts that take an hour to record, and then another hour to edit and upload, another hour to do, whatever. So these are things that you can, if you don't have money, but you have a lot of time and you can have valuable content to give, you can build a lot of free traffic from there, and then you can monetize it. And that's what I teach in Earnest Affiliate. But by no means is it free in a sense where you're not giving something, you're giving time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I went the opposite direction with my business. I decided that I didn't want to invest a lot of time. I wanted to invest money instead, and then go from there. So I definitely see that both methods work and have their own pros and cons. So I guess, we just chose the different route.
And what's so crazy is, even though we both technically make money from affiliate commission, so you can consider both of us affiliate marketers, what we do is so night and day different. It's like they need to have 2 terms for it. Like I'm sick of calling what I do affiliate marketing, because it has nothing to do with what Bauke does or even what Charles Ngo does.
So because it's both affiliate marketing in the sense that we make commissions from affiliate offers. The methods we use to generate traffic to those offers are so completely different that it's like two different businesses completely. And I always, when I talk to people like about what I do, I always try to gauge like their level of knowledge about internet marketing. If I think it's like 0, I tell them I do online marketing. If it's like they're digital nomads, probably I tell them I do affiliate marketing. But often when they do know what that is, and the follow-up questions are like, oh, so you have like a blog, or do you do like SEO, or because then you get into the nitty gritty about affiliate marketing, and it comes out that there's so many different ways and methods to do it that affiliate marketing itself is not a thing.
Yeah, it's almost like saying like I do business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I would say what I would call your type of affiliate marketing, or Charles knows affiliate marketing, I would call that PPC marketing. Would that be a little bit more?
Yes,
correct?
that's one way to describe it. Yeah, on things like the Warrior Forum and other internet marketing forums, it's often referred to as CPA marketing as well, because of the affiliate offers that we use to make money are often on CPA networks.
Okay, so PPC stands for pay per click, which is like putting out an ad where it costs 15 cents for someone to click it. Or you pay 15 cents for people to click it, or more likely $1, $2. And CPA stands for cost per action. So can you explain that?
Yeah, cost per action means that the affiliate offer is the advertiser on the back end of the affiliate offer, which is the product owner, wants the customer to perform a certain action on their site. So this could be as simple as enter an email address into a capture form, or it could be like fill in an entire form with like name, address, phone number, etc., which is just providing leads to the business. But it could also be they want them to buy their initial product, their initial offer. So because it's not based only on sales, they describe it as cost per action, because the action can be very different depending on what the advertiser wants. It could also be an app install, for example. It's very popular nowadays. And because those things are so different from one another, but the methods in which we promote them is the same, we have one term for that, and that is cost per action.
That absolutely makes sense. And I would say what you do is CPA affiliate marketing, and then what I would do, I'm more of like a content creator that happens to monetize my content with affiliate offers.
Yeah.
So for the best example, the easiest example of this I can tell you guys is if you're interested in anything that we talked about today, whether it's one of the books or one of the courses that Bauke mentioned, if you go to the show notes of episode 104, I'm going to make all those links into affiliate links. So if you buy a copy of Think and Grow Rich or Rich Dad Poor Dad, that link is going to take you to Amazon, but it's going to have my affiliate partner code embedded, which means I'll get 6% or whatever it is of that book sale. So if enough people do it, then I get a big commission check at the end of the month. But I think so. So the way it works is these are things that we would recommend anyways. I mean, I didn't pay Bauke to recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki didn't say, hey, if you talk about this on your podcast, we'll give you 25 cents or even $25 or even $20. Robert Kiyosaki can come to me and say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 to mention my XYZ product. And if it's not something I believe in, I'm not going to talk about it. I won't talk about it.
Yeah.
But if it's a good product, then I'll talk about it for free. And if you buy it from Amazon.com straight, I get 0. Or if you buy it from wherever straight, I get 0. But if you go through my link or my show notes, then I will get credit for it. And I think that's the easiest way to explain what I do.
Yeah. So on the other hand, what I do is I pay for traffic to affiliate offers on advertising networks. Mostly I use Facebook PPC right now, which is the ads that you see in your Facebook newsfeed. Sometimes you see sponsored posts on your newsfeed. Sometimes you see the ads in the right-hand sidebar of Facebook. So I buy advertising on Facebook in those places, and then I send that traffic to affiliate offers. And the idea is that the payouts I receive from the affiliate commissions are going to be higher than what I pay for the advertising on Facebook, and the difference is my profit. So it's an arbitrage system.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. And this gets really complicated, so that's not today's topic, but I'm sure there's tons of ways to find the right audience to send the ads to, to convert and things like that. But so in general, how long did it take you to kind of figure out affiliate marketing, and where are you now?
Well, on the one hand, I don't believe you've ever really figured it out. So you're always learning because the internet changes, technology changes at a very rapid pace. So don't expect to learn affiliate marketing once and never have to learn it again. It's always changing. And if you want to do it, it's something you cannot do by just like learning it once. You have to keep innovating, keep learning. But like I said, when I first started out, I started profiting from it after 2 months. So that's how long it took me to go from zero to making a profit with affiliate marketing. To say I've really figured it out, I wouldn't say that I have, but it took me another year to be somewhat competent in my own eyes. And now I'm at a level where I can start campaigns and I can quickly see like, is this going anywhere or not? But again, I spend as much time, maybe even more time learning about affiliate marketing even now than I do actually do the marketing itself, make ads, landing pages, etc.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, as far as most of the people I've met who do some kind of CPA marketing, it's been this kind of a similar story where they might have gotten like a little bit of success right in the beginning. So they're like, okay, I know this could work with the right offer, but then it takes them usually a while, like a year plus, and a lot of money too. I mean, like how much money do you think you've invested in learning these things or testing things?
It's hard to say. Thousands, more than thousands of dollars over the course of the last 2 years.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely. Like I'm here now. I was able to quit my job, move to Thailand, and life has been really great since I did that. So that was all possible because of affiliate marketing, because of that initial investment that I made, because that initial mindset change I had through the course I bought for $2,000. So yeah, that was totally worth it. Even though I don't consider myself really rich or anything, but just because of how much my life has changed after all of that, I would totally do it again.
I like it. And let's not forget that even before he bought that course, he bought the books. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad, 4 Hour Work Week, Think and Grow Rich, Awaken the Giant Within, and these kind of made that it basically set you up for success for when you did join the course. And then when he did join that course, he made you read more books, right?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah, and it happens every time I make another investment, even a monetary investment. There's always a time investment that comes with it as well. Like now I invested in another course, but I'm gonna have to go through so much material and so much reading and watching videos and trying to figure things out. So yeah, there's that always. And like I said, affiliate marketing changes so much. The internet changes so much. I believe that without like constantly learning and improving, online business is not possible.
Yeah, I 100% believe that. But what I like about it is the fact that we can do it like on our own terms, at our own time, from wherever we want, and it's fun.
Yeah, totally. Like I can take a few weeks off if I want to and just go and travel. I did that in November actually. I worked only like a little bit and I was just traveling Laos, Cambodia, Bangkok. I had a great time. And then this January I started like really focusing on business again for a few weeks. I got a really good campaign up and running, did very well. And then I went to Koh Tao for a week, had lots of fun, drank every night, partied, diving, went to the full moon party. So yeah, it's like you're so free to do that. Like you can do all of this like really fun travel stuff, really fun adventures, and then go back, work on your business. And because it's an online business, even when you're not working on it, it's still up and running. It's still making you money. Like it's not like if you really wanted to grow and improve, then you have to work on it. But when, like I said in the beginning, you have this leverage element in internet marketing where you can just build a system that works and it keeps running for a while, at least when you are just doing something else.
I like it. So do you mind just kind of sharing some examples of like kind of the lifespan of a campaign? Like, is it something that like after 2 weeks, okay, this makes 0, so it's dead. Or if it makes money, it usually lasts for X amount of months, and then like just out of curiosity.
There are so many different factors that come into play that it's very hard to say that. However, what I can tell you is with Facebook PPC, because it depends on the traffic source as well. So for me, Facebook PPC has been big for me for a while. With Facebook PPC, it takes about 3 days of buying traffic before the results are at all reliable, because Facebook has created this machine that is it's genius. It's almost artificial intelligence. Like it predicts things. It generates its own traffic. But it takes about 3 days of running a new campaign before that starts kicking in. So the first 3 days, if you run Facebook advertising and you don't see results for 3 days, that's perfectly normal. The first 3 days, Facebook's algorithms are figuring out how to run your campaign. And then after that, the data starts to become reliable. It kind of depends on your daily budget, whether or not the data is going to be any relevant to you. Like, for example, if you promote an affiliate offer with a $1 payout, it only takes a few dollars to know whether or not it's profitable. If you promote an affiliate offer with $50 payout, you're going to have to spend at least $200 before you know whether it's going to work or not. So when you're just starting out and you want to do paid advertising affiliate marketing, it's a great idea to start with lower payout offers. That's what I did last year. I had a really successful campaign on an offer that paid out $2. And at some point, I got it to a level where it made me like over 10K in a month, even though it was only a $2 payout, because I was able to scale it up so much with paid traffic. But then once you get to that point, it depends on what niche you're in and what the offer is doing, what the offer owner is doing. But anything can change at any moment with a paid affiliate marketing. So for me, that offer lasted a few months and then it died because I was paying more for traffic than the offer was paying out. The payouts were lowered by the advertiser because they weren't making as much money anymore. Facebook didn't like the offer anymore, so didn't allow promoting it anymore on their platform. Things like that change all the time, and that's why you constantly have to improve and evolve.
Okay, so if someone wanted to learn more about CPA affiliate marketing, where would you suggest they go?
This question comes up a lot, and I find that there is scattered information. There's a lot of misinformation when it comes to this, because there is so much hype around CPA marketing, because it's sort of like a get-rich-quick scheme, but not really. But a lot of people promote it like a get-rich-quick scheme. So don't go to the Warrior Forum. That's my first advice. Like, on the Warrior Forum, you will find like dozens, if not hundreds, of CPA marketing products. And if they even have good information, it's usually outdated or just in general like bad information. Stack That Money Forum is a great resource for learning about CPA affiliate marketing, although it's not really newbie friendly in my opinion. So if you have absolutely no idea about internet marketing in general, you're going to be very overwhelmed and you're going to have no idea where to actually start. It doesn't have a step-by-step, here's how you go from $0 to $100 a day and then scale it up to 1,000 or 10,000. Because I feel like CPA marketing in general is a sort of like a closed off, guarded world where many people are like not really willing to share what they do because of its nature, like it's arbitrage. So if you tell someone exactly what you do, like here's what I do and how I do it, they'll just rip off what you do and they'll just take a part of your profits. So you have to learn the skills that are required. So how to find your own offer, how to come up with your own marketing message, how to set up your own Facebook ads account. You cannot rely on copy pasting someone else's method, which makes it a little harder for some people to teach it. I am actually working on my own course for CPA affiliate marketing because, like I said, I feel like there's not a great resource for it out there right now. And I have had a lot of friends asking me, like, what is it exactly that you do and how do you do it? And every time I couldn't really come up with the best answer because, like, where do I go to learn this is basically the question they're really asking. And never I could give them a good answer, because I can send them to the Stack That Money forum, and often I do, but I feel like it's not going to help them as much as they expect it to. So I feel like I should make my own course on this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, and I'm looking forward to checking out that course. I actually interviewed 2 other members of Stack That Money, episode 80, which is Nick and Robbie, and then episode 81, which was Derek. So they all do kind of similar things. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have a link to those episodes in the show notes. Any idea when your course is going to come out, how people can find you?
Yeah, you can find me right now on libertytotravel.com. That's sort of my brand name right now. My course is like, it's just an idea I have right now, and I'm working out like how I would structure it, how I would make it. So it's nowhere near releasing, but I plan on releasing it this year at least, preferably before the end of the year, before the autumn actually. So in the summer I want to have a rough like 1.0 version, which will be sort of like a beta, because I don't believe in like releasing a completely polished and finished product, because I don't think that you're ever going to be satisfied with your product before you release it. So I'm planning on releasing a rough version of the product for a very low price, then getting feedback from my first customers, and then using that feedback to make the nice polished 2.0 version that's going to cost way more, but is also going to have a lot more value.
That's exactly what I did with the Earnest Affiliate. I released it at $197, and the goal of it is to have the first 100 members be kind of like a case study, to try to get them to build up their blogs, their brands, have them start making some money, and figure out like how can I really help people get started? You know, how can I, because I know I don't want it to take 6 months to a year. Yeah. I want people to be able to do it in 2 or 3 months. I think that's kind of I don't want anyone to ever think that they can do it in like overnight or in a week or something, because I don't think that's possible for anyone. But I do think that if we can figure out like a minimal viable product, just like a set, a very easy to follow standard of like, this is what you do for the first 60 days or 2 months, I definitely think that's 100% possible. So right now, like everyone in my course is basically my case study on trying to figure out how we can take that process from, taking 5 or 6 months to 2 or 3. And as soon as I figure that out, this course is gonna be like $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's roughly the same idea that I have. Yeah.
I like it. So Bauke, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and if you want to check out Bauke's site, it's libertytotravel.com. And again, I'll put it in the show notes. This is episode 104, Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave a rating on iTunes, as that helps a ton of getting this stuff spreaded. And that's it. So see you guys next week. Ciao. Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.